2 weeks, TransworldSport has been following the competitors of the last desert race, one of the world's hardest ultramarathon competitions. A 250-kilometer self-supported stage race, the last desert takes place on the beautiful and inhospitable terrain of Antarctica. One of the most isolated regions on Earth, the continent is home to around 70% of the world's fresh water. Having departed from Ushuaia in southern Argentina and crossed the notorious Drake's Passage, the competitors are racing in a number of different locations around the Antarctic Peninsula before returning to port 10 days later. Last week the race got underway with 2 stages being held on the continent's unofficial capital, King George Island. Stage 3 takes the competitors to Deception Island. As with all of the previous locations in the event, and unlike the other 3 races in the series, each stage in the last desert is tailored to be a short loop for specific reasons. Alistair Morrison is the course director.
You go round the circle anti-clockwise.
The last desert courses are very different from the other races in the 4 desert series because we have to be particularly careful, obviously, for safety. Very, very harsh conditions here. And also there are very strict regulations about the environment. Obviously in all the races we worry about the environment, but in Antarctica there are very tight regulations, so we have to follow those.
Situated on the northwest side of the peninsula, Deception Island was previously used as a base for whalers at the beginning of the 20th century. An active volcano, its collapsed volcanic cone makes it one of the safest natural harbours in the world. The island's thermal activity also means the average temperature here is higher than along the rest of the peninsula.
I'm feeling okay, yeah. It's snowing, it's not too cold, so it seems pretty stable. We've been told we'll be out here for about 15 hours. So, God, it's a 2-kilometer loop, so I don't know how many times we'll end up doing it. Quite a bit. But I'm all good, yeah, all set. We'll just see how we get on.
Renowned for being the coldest, driest and windiest region on Earth, where blizzards are a common occurrence, racing gets underway in a flurry of snow. Polar winds don't help proceedings as the competitors endure a testing few hours. With no landmass to impede the low-pressure systems that circle the continent, the Antarctic weather is very temperamental, with conditions changing on a number of occasions.
We've been out for about 3 hours and 8 minutes, and about 25 kilometres. It's okay. It's a bit tiring, but it's okay. Lots of pause, man. Dying to feel real and run.
The clear weather not only helps take the sting out of the physical exertion for the competitors, but also helps raise their spirits. With the island's bay the caldera of a volcano, the waters are warmed by submersed thermal vents, meaning it's the only location on the continent where you can enjoy a swim without succumbing to the icy waters in a matter of minutes.
I live in Las Vegas. I play the odds. I can run nearly naked in the Antarctic. I'm feeling good. I dove in. Holy crap, is that cold, man. I was just hoping there are no killer whales. I'm like a big white pastry, like a canape.
The race leader heading into the stage and the favourite to win the event, Ryan Sands, takes full advantage of the good weather to further extend his lead. The South African, who trained in a purpose-built ice chamber for the last desert, is aiming to become the first runner to win all 4 races in the series. Despite the earlier testing conditions, the 28-year-old still manages to cover an impressive 100 kilometres on Deception Island.
My legs are a bit tired. I think today after 40 k's I wasn't too happy with my legs, but then they started to come right after 80 k's. I think it's just been a long season for me, a long year. But otherwise, yeah, to be in first position after 3 stages, that was my goal. So yeah, I'm really happy to be in podium position or in the #1 spot.
Oh, God, right?
En route to the final location of the race, the competitors have the rare opportunity to have a close encounter with some of Antarctica's wildlife as a pod of killer whales hunt penguins. Following this experience of seeing one of nature's most spectacular events up close, the competitors soon reach Vinke Island. Named after a Norwegian seaman who fell overboard during Adrien de Gerlach's expedition to the continent in 1897, the island is home to a large number of penguin colonies and is covered by glaciers.
Pretty mild today, yeah, it's not as cold as the other days and it's beautiful. This is the real Antarctica.
The island's deep snow makes for a tentative start to the fourth and final stage as the competitors look to come to terms with the uneven surface. Comprising a 2.5 kilometre loop that takes them past the local inhabitants, the runners have to stick close to the marked out course for safety reasons, as Vinke Island has a number of hidden crevasses.
Easier the second time. Very, very tough first one. So hard.
With the local wildlife taking an interest in proceedings, it's not long before Ryan Sands hits the front of the pack. The South African continues to show the form that has seen him cover 196 kilometres over the first 3 stages as he makes light work of the tough conditions. 6 hours after the stage began, and with bad weather starting to close in, the 28-year-old crosses the finish line to claim victory in the 2010 Last Desert. Having run a total of 230 kilometres, the longest distance covered in any of the previous editions of the race, Ryan becomes the first runner to win all the races in the 4 Desert Series.
It's right. No, super stoked actually. It's been a long time ambition, like the last 2 years, so it's awesome to put a tick in the box and do what I said I wanted to do.
18 months after the invites were sent out, the 2010 edition of the Last Desert Race comes to an end. One of the hardest ultramarathon events in the world, the event has been a mixture of emotions for the competitors, a triumph of the will over some of the harshest terrain on the planet.
I didn't expect the race to be like this. It was much harder than I thought it would be, but thanks to Allah, I've achieved it.
Oh, you did it!